So what's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. You know, I think this is probably gonna be the last Will Smith video, man, because it seems that he's just admitting that he's done, man. Now, we've seen the demise of the strength and power of the man Will Smith over the years. But with this new book, he is opening up to things that he previously hadn't mentioned. Some things we probably could have figured, but he hadn't mentioned them. And you can't really believe it until you hear it from the horse's mouth. And somebody sent me a video on IG of Will on stage talking to some people, man. I don't know if it's a conference or a church or wherever he is, man, but it is a very emotional scene. The people in the audience are boohooing and all these things, man. He's in an emotional state. But if you can avoid getting wrapped in the emotions, which I know we can over here in the alpha sphere, and listen to the words this man is saying, this man is basically admitting to the world that his life, his wife, his children, his career, his overall existence has left him in the position where his manhood and masculinity is dead, and he has just become one big ball of emotion, namely love. So to hear a man who is engulfed in a state of love giving, not receiving, let's take a listen to this video, man. And we'll come back and chop it up on a real tip. But I'm warning you, man, this is bad. Let's take a listen.
You can't punish people for mistakes. It's like you have to forgive people. And a big part of that, is forgiving yourself. We don't forgive ourselves for stuff, and it makes it impossible for us to forgive other people. That last time with Daddy-O, I just learned what love is. Love is not punishing people and beating on them for what they did and hanging on to that trifling shit, that they did to you. And it's like getting out of being a victim, and Daddy-O and his death purified my heart in a way that I love life. Like, I love the opportunity to be better. I love the opportunity to work with people to find their way. And he helped me cultivate like an emotional invincibility. To love and to be loved is really all there is. And everything else needs to be set up to support that. When you see things and you read things in the press and you don't understand exactly what's going on, just know that everybody in my life and everybody on my side and in my team and my wife and my ex and my children, what you're watching is an experiment in unconditional love.
Now, what you hear is the sound of a man who has succeeded in his career, succeeded in getting respect from his peers, succeeded in fulfilling any goals he had set, and more than likely surpassing all of those goals in his life, in his career. But the one thing the man has never exceeded in or succeeded in is self-love. The man has built his entire life around loving other people. And that is an exercise in futility, because for all the love you give, you will never get that love in return. You will never get anything commensurate in return. So here is a man who is finally in his 50s realizing that he is destined to be a giver of love and a receiver of nothing in return. The emptiness that you hear in this man, the emptiness that we've seen in this man, It's based solely on the fact that there is no real manhood and masculinity left in him. It has all been replaced by this need to love, this need to nurture, this need to be there for people, this need to be relied on, to be counted on. And let me tell y'all something. That's the emotional state of a woman, a mother, namely. When this man talks now, he doesn't sound like the man Will Smith. He sounds like a mother now. All this emotionality for all of these years that has not been recompensed, where he has received no compensation for these emotions, have left him in a state of not knowing who he is. So all he can do is continue to throw himself into this love state. The problem is when you look around the man, when he's exposed his life to us, we see that he doesn't even get the love back from the people he gives it to. He doesn't get the respect back from the people he gives it to. He doesn't even get appreciation from the people he gives all this love and respect and access to all these resources and this amazing life. The man gets nothing in return from these people. And he has no relationship with God because, of course, he represents Scientology. See, what we got to keep in mind, brothers, is you are not here to be used and abused by those around you. Not your wife, not your children, not your mother, not your father, not your other relatives, not your friends, not your job. You're not here to be used by anyone. If you notice, you guys have not once heard me come in and request that you pay me anything. You guys have not once heard me come in and shout out that y'all need to give me super chats or any of those things. But there's a reason why. And this is not a knock on anyone who does that. Hey, man, you got to get your money however you feel like you need to get it. If I felt like I needed to do it, trust me, I would do it. But here's the thing. I'm an expert in appreciating the things that people give me. So whereas the view may just be a view, I value the view. Not because of any revenue the view may lead to. I value the view because the view represents an effort on your part for the effort that I give on my part. And if you're in a situation as a man and you can't do that, it's because you haven't practiced that and become perfect at that. You need to practice recognizing someone else's effort to appreciate or recompense or compensate for the effort you put forth. That's another reason I tell you, man, if a woman is in your life, put her to work, make her earn her way, make her earn her keep, make her do something. Because you have to make sure that for all you give as an alpha male, as an alpha king, as a man of God, that you are getting what you deserve from people. God didn't put you here to just be used and abused. He didn't put you here to just let people take advantage of you. He didn't put you here to just let people run over you. He didn't put you here to just let people do whatever they want to do and receive whatever they want to receive from you and never give you anything in return. That is not the purpose for your existence. Unfortunately for Will Smith, he hasn't found that out. He kept giving and giving and giving and giving and not receiving anything in return. And if you give and not receiving anything in return, don't you understand you ain't got nothing left? And what we see in this video is the evidence of a man who has nothing left. It's done for Will, man. So there's no need for me to talk about this brother anymore. This brother has just stated that he is done. His entire life is dedicated to being this big ball of uncompensated love giving. Can you imagine the emotional state that man must be in? What fragility. No man should want to exist in such a state of emotional fragility, man. This is a sad case of a man who could have been whatever he wanted to be in the world. He could have been a leader of men. He could have been well respected by men as a leader of men. See, we all can have our career accomplishments. You can do all of that you want to, but in the large scheme of things, that only means something to you. The real test, the real honor, the real respect of a man is what he can do to enhance the understanding of life for other men who have not yet attained his level of wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. And right now, all Will has to give is love to the same people he's been giving love to his whole life. You ever notice that the only man who gets to this point when he gets older is a man who's been married his whole life or in and out of marriages, always in some emotional state, some emotional attached state with a female? You never hear a man who hasn't been trapped in those situations talking like this in his 50s and 60s. Oh, love, love, love. It's time to love. You got to give love, 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 love all around, love for everyone. This is what men think. And these men always have these characteristics that we wouldn't necessarily identify as masculine. You know why? Because always being in a state of loving everything deprives you of your masculinity and robs you of your ability to be dedicated to the preservation of that masculinity. We live in a society where men are told it's okay for you to be as emotional as women are. Now, there's going to be some fallout, but don't worry about it. The women will love it. And that's why I tell you men now, like I've always told you before, nothing you do should be for the purpose of getting, securing, or impressing women. Nothing. You be the man you want to be. You be the man that you've desired to be. You be the man of your dreams. And let the brow get in where they fit in. Don't allow yourself to be convinced or bamboozled into believing that being in an overly emotional state is the best thing for you to do as a man. Because not only is it not the best thing, it is the absolute worst thing. Peace.
Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you. Welcome to the alphasphere. Get money division. The place where you transform into a man on a mission.